Hi, John Wanoa here. Today, the 21st of December 2016, getting close to Christmas. Um, I've noticed my volume is a bit too low. I can't seem to fix up the controls on the tablet or the notepad. Anyway, I want to say the history of Philippines is on my mind at the moment. How they changed the title on the land and the gold that's buried in it. The government took over from the royal family, and that's how they've managed to scarf off and steal the gold and the land and everything in it. So I want you to just listen to this bit here on the video.
And though the motion filed by the Solicitor General of the Republic of the Philippines, the duplicate copies of its owners were sought.
At may-ari na di pa lumilitaw.
This included the return to a royal family, riches amounting to 617,000 metric tons of gold and 500,000 pieces of 10-carat diamonds.
At 500,000 piraso ng 10-carat na mga diamante.
So there, I just wanted you to hear the amount of gold that's buried there. There was 400,000 metric tons of gold before. Now the other 200 has come across from New York, from the 9/11 bombing by the Saudi Arabians and Israel. And that went along with Obama and Clinton Foundation. And all that cabal mixed up in it. Bill Gates and his foundation, Melinda Foundation, and also the other trusts that are running rife under this Admiralty court jurisdiction. King William IV. It won't be King George III's, because he didn't have commercial contracts in his time. They were all drafted into Acts of Westminster Parliament under King William IV Parliament. Acts between 1830 and 1837 is the only time the commercial contracts were put together. There was no such contracts like this in America before. They were just straight out Admiralty and not mixed up in banks and transactions of this sort. So what happened with Queen Victoria is that she, I believe, was murdered by the Rothschilds. They married into her and bore the Cabal family. Those are the family running this scam with all of this gold and everything transferred, and it can only be shipped by manifest through the Admiralty law of the sea. And only this flag is going to stop them all, because that's the only King's flag of Admiralty in the world of commerce. It's a commercial trading bank flag and military flag at the same time. It's both. And so it has more power going for it to shut down all this corruption and fraud inside the Queen's royal family. Okay, Queen Elizabeth II, you're on notice with this video and this flag lying here. You did not make the Admiralty laws. You only usurped it through your husband, Philip, Commander-in-Chief, Mischief, and Obama, Commander-in-Chief, not a real chief. We have the real chiefs here in the Waitangi Marae King's Bench Native Court. It's the native court that has impressed the titles on all native lands in the world, including America, Australia, New Zealand, Canada. Those countries are using this authority of Admiralty to ship prized possessions from one point on the world to the other. From New York, the bombing, 9/11 bombing, that gold was shifted straight to Philippines by the Queen. And now Donald Trump keep your hands off, Karen Hudis, keep your hands off that gold, because it doesn't belong to you. It belongs to this flag and its jurisdiction and its native chiefs here in New Zealand. The Whakameinga 1834 Clendon British flag of the flag of New Zealand. That's the authority we're using, and myself as sheriff, to seize all that gold back into our beneficiaries' trust. Now for Maori, there's no place for you in this flag when it comes to commercial contract law. You are stuck in the New South Wales government and Bill English and John Key's levy debtor part of the Admiralty court-martial laws. You're trapped in that contract. Okay, that's what I'll say this video for before Christmas, that you'll have to think about who you are when you make statements in front of me and the grand jury, grand jury that's been chosen right now to act in that Waitangi Marae King's Bench Native Court with Chief Kingi Taurua. I know you lot of thugs have kicked Kingi Taurua off your taumata in Te Tii Marae. You got nothing coming, because he's a military man and he has the right to use this military flag right on top of you and your Australian New South Wales approach to this flag. You cannot go into this contract. You're stuck in John Key's contract with the New South Wales government and your 1835 part of this flag, which came later, a year later, and it's locked into the New Zealand government and you can't get it out because it's legislated out. You are legislated out of legal substance and authority right there in Wellington, the Beehive, right? The government has tied you right into that contract and took its power out of the flag on your part of New South Wales government. You're out of the equation. When it comes to any claims, you have to go through the Waitangi Tribunal and the Maori Land Court and the Maori this and that, Maori titles. That's all you can claim, is what you're stuck to in the Queen's Bench Court contract, right? Your Maori Crown contract with the Queen. You're the Queen's people. Now we're on the other side, the Moai. Don't touch the Moai. Don't touch the Moai, because you haven't done anything with it in all your life other than go there and talk about it, but not in this commercial sense. You have no say. All those taumata kaumatu in Ngāpui, and there's a message for you. Do not mix the two contracts up, because you'll get a pound note on your head if you play around on this side of the British titles. Okay, the British are watching you. They're watching everything you're doing to Kingi and watching everything you do to me and anybody else that's connected to what I do online. Is our proof of claim and witnessed statements that we make as verbal affidavits and admissible in the High Court of Admiralty in London and in the Waitangi Marae King's Bench Court here and in the district courts right through New Zealand and the world and the Pacific when we cross that path in Waitangi Marae King's Bench Court on the 6th of February 2017. So I want to say that our court hearing on the 15th of April this year, 2016, we passed all the laws, acts of King William IV, 1830 to 1837, which included these acts that cover for the court-martial laws and the trading in the world of our flag. The Maori have chosen the Tino Rangatiratanga flag as their flag of New Zealand. There, you're stuck with that. You're stuck with the flag. You can't fly this flag for any reason other than to promote what we do. with this flag. It's got its meaning, was given. It's a British flag. It is not a Maori flag. It is a British flag for contracts. Okay? For contracts, bank, money, and all the commercial contracts, nothing else. It's for free passage through the world and protection of business. Okay? Business, and wherever that business goes, that is our business. Just go back to this, I've lost it now, Philippines. My subject today is the Philippines, and I put 3 cutouts of the video that says the history of Philippines, the history of the Philippines, Mahalika, the Lost Kingdom, right? It ain't lost, it's just the way they've written it. So it's got here, I've put down Moai Native Chiefs Whakameinga 1834 flag of Admiralty jurisdiction, Waitangi Marae King's Bench Native Court, Grand Jury, take note. Annulment of land titles conveyance by government. This is in Philippines. That's one. Try and read it. I'll try and read it because it's very difficult to see it on a video, and cut out of a video. I'll try and read it. The case is a petition for the reconstitution of October 1st to October the 4th, with annulment of all titles described in a certification issued by the Administrator of the Land Registration Commission, Honourable Antonio Nobelages, and with reconveyance of the subjected land which are in the possession of the heirs of the late Prince Julian MacLeod Talana, filed by the national government through its Solicitor General Felix Makassar, which the national government had. Right, that's that bit. They've taken ownership. The Solicitor General for the government has taken ownership of this man's land where the gold is buried. That's how they got the gold. They took the land and claimed the land. Okay? So now I'll go back to the next one, which is Certificate of Sheriff's Return. Per compliance to the order of writ of execution. Demolition date September 10th, 1931 or something. But I can't really see it. But I'm just saying that's a writ of execution. These are what we're doing to seize this land in New Zealand and seize Kingi Toa wants his land back at Waitangi, the Waitangi land blocks and the Titi land blocks. This is how we're doing it. No Maori can do this. Only British and the Moai Hapu chiefs. Whakameinga, that Whakameinga. There's no other Whakameinga around. Only native surnames. All the Maoris have got different podgy looking surnames. You can live with those in Queen Elizabeth's fraud world, where Obama and Clinton have gone to pieces with her. All her world is falling apart with you lot of Maoris because she created the Maori tribe. Queen Elizabeth, I'll make this statement clear, Queen Elizabeth II and her crown agents, corporate thugs, created Maori, iwi tribe to screw all the original surname natives of New Zealand and Pacific Islands. Okay, you get that? You got that? With this flag. She did that under this flag jurisdiction of King William IV. She can't make Admiralty law. Neither can Victoria. Now, Victoria, I'll tell you a story about Victoria. She's not supposed to be the Queen of Britain, UK, Hanover. She's a Queen of England. And Queen Elizabeth succeeded to that fraud woman, because she was a good woman, the niece of King William IV, but on the whakapapa there's something wrong with it, because on the line it's got King Edward. That's Kingi Taurua's line. King Edward as the brother, and King Ernest Augustus I is missing. It's missing on the whakapapa. I'll put it on Facebook so you can see it, but I'm going to put it on our website, the moaipowerhouse.com website, for the grand jury and the judge in the native court, Waitangi Marae, King's Bench Native Court hearing. And you can see how the whakapapa stacks up, where Queen Victoria and all those descendants of Queen Victoria is subjected to us seizing her title, Queen Victoria Trust, and that gold in the Philippines, back into the King's Bench Court, with Ernest Augustus, King Ernest Augustus V, the King, the current legitimate King of Britain, UK, Hanover. He is the King of Britain, Hanover, UK. We have to nominate him into Westminster from Plymouth in England on King William's IV's estate land. In that estate land and that court inside the county court inside the Plymouth boundary area, and Devon Port, William Yard, where his memorial is, that's the jurisdiction we're taking that flag into and putting it up the court there of King William to King Ernest Augustus transfer of his inheritance straight over. Okay? You hear what I'm saying? In Britain, you people, there's only one king that's taking over the monarchy in Britain. The real Britain, going back to Britain, Brexit, and exit from the EU Parliament, is no longer relevant when these kings are in line, unbroken sovereignty. This flag is the receipt of an unbroken sovereignty of 182 years of a private contract. No one can tamper with it. No one can interfere with this contract between us, the Whakameinga 1834 Clendon title proclamation on this land, on Chief Kingi Taurua's land in Kororareka, Russell, Bay of Islands, Paihia, Bay of Islands, New Zealand. The title that we lock with this writ of execution to seize back the land into the British title custody and seize all that gold and everything off the Queen. Okay, you hearing me? Are you hearing me, you people in Britain? You're safe with the Moai and King William IV Memorial land title. I just put it on Facebook, and you can see the writ of execution and the way the government seized the land back from the private owners in the Philippines. They buried the gold there, then they took the title off the prince when he died. They probably killed him. These cabal, the Queen Elizabeth cabal, they're bad people. Queen Victoria, all that mafia lot comes under the cabal, are the family, the men of the birth of the kids of Queen Victoria and Rothschild. Okay, Nathan Rothschild, all his families are tied into this scam that's going on, where Trump has won all his college votes, 304 college votes, and outstripped Hillary Clinton. She's out now. She can't do anything about it. Obama can't do anything in Congress. He can't do what he wanted to do as Satan, as the Queen's usurping our Admiralty law for him to go and slash and take guns and everything and bring in Muslims. They're doing it in Shipping Act. He's doing it by manifest of the Shipping Acts of Admiralty. law of the sea, as if he's a king. He's going to get whopped from this flag and myself and the chiefs here, the right chiefs, not the Maoris. There won't be any Maoris in this lot because they're labelled as the Queen's people, and they can stay in Te Marae with that 1840 obelisk as their memorial. From this flag, the New South Wales took this flag out and put the 1840 Treaty of Waitangi there. That's theirs. That's for Maoris. They can have that because that marae got no carvings in it. It's for Pākehās, and it's got a Henry Williams Pākehā in as its mana in that marae, put there by a woman. Woman put that marae together. Okay, so that's theirs. They can have that. They can have that as debtors. They are levy debtors. We're going on the other side, Kingi. Kingi Toto, Chief. We're going into the Waitangi Marae and take the whole place with this writ, the certificate of sheriff's return. That's one. And the annulment of land titles conveyancing by government. Okay, the British are going to do that. Annulment of land conveyanced by government. The British government will do that for us because we're dual. I'm making this statement. We're a dual government. The Moai Crown, Federal, State, Commonwealth government of the world. Dual government, 8-point star of the flag in the four corners of the flag, four corners, north, east, south, west of the world in blue, sea, Admiralty, sky title. Okay, the 8-point star here. I'm just saying, the 8-point star on our flag of jurisdiction is on the hat of every sheriff. He only needs one of these on his head and his shirt. The shirt is there with the 8-point star on it and King William's photo, right? And the Moai statue seal. Okay, that's all you need to exercise the authority what Obama was abusing, what the Queen was abusing, giving it to the Pope to mass his wealth and his 193 armies he's paying in the United Nations. That's Pope Francis is the administrator of the Vatican City private corporation, usurping King William IV's authority of Admiralty bank mortgage lands over the whole world. Right? We're stripping them off it with King Ernest Augustus the fifth, and his son, Prince Regent Ernest Augustus. Those two are our partners, and also is Sir Philip Jones, the First Lord High Admiral of the Fleet, British Navy. That's our legal partner. He's got the right to the commerce and financial investment interests, the recovery of all the stolen property, including this gold, 600, it said. You heard it, that woman say 600,000 tons, metric tons of gold that's in the Philippines. It's gone back into where it came from, the British. You see, we seized that with this writ off the Queen and the Rothschilds and the cabals. We seize it with the same warrant with this flag. They do not have a flag of Admiralty. None of them. Not even the American flag is not a bank commercial trading flag of a king. This is the king's flag. The only way to use it is legally and with legitimacy and authority of the king that put those acts of Westminster Parliament together, 1830 to 1837, covering this flag's authority. Okay, we take control back to the people with this writ of execution warrant. Okay, so that's the other one is writs of execution order Philippines. That was the last one. It says, writs of execution, demolition and possession order for resolution is the urgent motion for issuance of writ of execution, possession and demolition order filed by the Governor, Mr. Julian M. Talano, a judicial appointed administrator of the, and that's all it's got there because I've just caught it and clipped it off the video that's running, the video, the history of the Philippines, Maha Lika, the Lost Kingdom. Okay, so this is very important way of us, Kingi Taurua, recovering our lands here, and sub-Serbian using government is subject to this flag now. They are subjected to the sovereignty of this flag, and not Maori, but the Moai Hapu Indigene native surname. Native. We don't use the word Maori. You'll notice that I never use the word Maori in all my documents of statements, because Maori word itself is a patent of the Crown Corporation, New Zealand Crown Corporation government. Not Britain, not Britain, New Zealand. They put that together, then filed it off to Westminster. Westminster and the Queen. When the Queen wasn't, she's not there now. She's there physically, but she's carted everything else out, and she's made an exit into the EU Parliament, Brussels. From 2008, she signed the St. Lisbon Treaty and took her wealth there. That's our wealth. She's stolen all that wealth out of HM Treasury in London. We've got proof of that, and all those fictitious companies, private companies, that Gordon Bowden has listed. Okay, he's listed all the companies that are fictitious. They're not there. The oil drilling companies that are in the sea are not there. They've dreamt it all up, just like marriage to dream this and that, and expect everybody to believe everything, and Americans dream everything up as well. So you've got a bill on your head. All the dreaming people and all the fraudulent people that are sitting on the land, you have to prove where you got it from. You have to prove. If it comes from Australia, you're in trouble. You get the debt. You share the debt of the Moai Crown King William IV Trust and the two companies that are creditors. The Moai Powerhouse Group Limited Company in London, and Ngātua Ewa Aotea Limited Company in New Zealand, registered. 1 trillion shares. All that we recover goes into that and goes to all the people who were watching us and supporting us, the Moai Crown. So that's all I wanted to say about that. Until I get into this over the Christmas period, I'll be working right through, and I'll go over this video because we're using that blueprint, Kingi. We're using this blueprint, and you, Manahi, Parapara, Mohini, you are in this full time. Manahi, you're a justice of the peace to go into court to take this to the judge and take your place in the court, the district court of Auckland, the district court up in Kaitaia, the district court anywhere in this country. You standing there opposite the Pākehā. The Pākehā is the Maori and you are the Moai. Two different contracts. Maori is just an image of Pākehā in a Queen's will. It's not real. It's just an image. The Queen's head above the judge's head is just an image. It's not a queen. Queen's not there, Manahi. She skipped it. She's abandoned ship. She's abandoned ship. Took the money and ran out of Westminster into the EU Parliament, where she's buried herself with all her treasure stolen goods. Right? She's used the Admiralty to ship everything out. Wherever that gold is buried and shifted, we're going after. The Navy is our partner, is obligated, manahi, to go and seize it all and bring it back to the sheriff. Okay, that's my job, sheriff. I go to England, manahi, to boot the Queen out. I'll talk rough, I'll hang her. Okay, I have the legal right to hang her for treason and for violating or threatening the private interests of the Hapu chiefs, Whakameinga chiefs, native surname chiefs, and the King of Britain, UK, England. Okay? There's no such terminology in today's commercial world as a King or Queen of England. There's no England on its own anymore in transactions. There's only Britain in the big sense, or EU Parliament, or United States of America, or New Zealand, or Australia, Commonwealth of Australia. You see, you can get mixed up in the wrong jurisdictions, Mahi, because there's three governments in Australia. There's the state government of Australia, the Commonwealth government of Australia, and the federal government of Australia. Mahi and Bundy, Waitangi, and Kingi, I stopped the Commonwealth government of Australia from using Queen Victoria as their oath of office last year. Okay, I stopped them. I wrote to them, I went and put a video up and stopped them. I said, you can't do that, we'll have you with this flag. And so they swore to the community their oath. This government here in New Zealand hasn't quite sworn to anything. They swore their oath of office to the Queen before. Ask them who they swear their oath of office to. They can't say the Queen because she's not there. That's false. See, I'm making a point quite clear right on Christmas. Which side of the fence you're on, legally. Which side of the fence you're going to be on next year in 2017. You go along with Obama because he's winning. That's what he's there. He's not there to lose. We're not there to lose, Manahi. We're not in this political world to lose. Neither am I. Not going to lose. That's without a gun pointing to your head. We don't have guns in the Moai world. We only have truth, right? Truth prevails over anything in this world. You wonder why Hillary Clinton lost, because she lied. That's all it was. She lied. The truth came out in the end. People voted for truth. Okay? They didn't vote for a lie. You can see who all voted for lies. All the people in Hollywood and all the people, celebrities, all the people that are around rich things, that are made for money for themselves, they're the ones that lost. It's not going to be anything like it because we're going to sconk it off them with this flag, money. I'm going to be brutal with this flag because they've been brutal kicking us off our land. And just now, with Tupi Jim Wikotu and myself on the land box at home down the East Coast, we got decline going back on our own native land. Now we're going to do the same. We're going to put this writ of warrant over them. Bev Murray, you're the legal landowner. You're the trustee landowner over my dead body. You took the land from me, a true native, and I'm going to screw your head with this writ. Right? You can't do that to me. No, not with all this going on. You are ignorant, all of you, in Te Tumutumu Pairo, and Taz Collier being my biggest enemy all these years with his trusts. All your trusts are going to get a big bill. You got the pound note, the green pound note, the 970 million trillion pound note on your heads. The whole lot of you in your surnames are stuck with it in John Key's fraud Panama Papers. You're all in the fraud. I make that quite clear today. Today at 12:55 p.m. on the 21st, Wednesday 21st of December 2016. This is a public statement for the record in the Waitangi Marae King's Bench Court, Native Court, and to Bill English, the Prime Minister of New Zealand. You got my notice. You've got 21 days to refute what I'm saying with this video. I'll send this video down to you. Intent to seize the land with a writ. The same writ as the government did to take the land. The Queen, Crown, took the land with the gold buried in it off the prince before he died. You see how vicious you are in your governance treatment on our native people, indigenous people of the world. The natives got the last say with this land. Will save the whole world. Trump is banging down the walls in America, the Queen's business. She's the one that's been defrauding the public of New Zealand and the world with these Crown agents, and you're one of them. However, Epiha, I can very well say that because you're from Epping in Australia and Epping in England. That's your bloodline Pākehā that dreamt up this Maori whakapapa. I got all the whakapapas, I know which is which. I can see Mohi Manukau gave it to me and told me, cross this one, cross that one, cross that one, cross that one. Right? That's what I'm doing. I'm doing Mohi's job, not my job. I'm doing his job, crossing this one and that one. And you're one of them that's crossed out. They're crossed out because the Manukau and the Parapara go together. The British have got the titles. Right? And you'll notice that Manahi, Parapara, Mohini gravitated to this straight out. Just like that, you know? Attraction of something real. He belongs to this Moai side of the monarchy. The Queen stole the Moai statue of Easter Island and took it, put it on a ship, Topaz, and shipped it with this writ of execution order. Right? What it says on it is a writ of execution order. Right? Demolition and possession order. This is a king's orders, not a queen's orders. These are king's Admiralty orders that he put together in his Acts of Westminster Parliament. The Queen doesn't make Admiralty laws like that to seize things. A writ of execution, demolition and possession order. That's to lift the flipping Moai statue up, the mana, whenua, title, that God says, put my face here. So he picks it up, takes it to London and says, put it there. That's a human law, L-A-W, and God's law, L-O-R-E, says, I want you to build a memorial of me out of earth. It took human hands to build that. My people, the Wanoa people, okay, from Raiatea, they went to Rapa Nui and put that Moai together. And from Rapa Nui, at Anakena, the statues, memorials, standing in line, to Mokonui on my own family land block, on the hill, the highest point, the Urupa burial ground at Mokonui, to Rapa Nui, from Te Pito, birth of New Zealand, Aotea, to Te Pito, Easter Island. Do you see the names? They go together. And Wanoa and Hiturangi, those two faces are put together with the Moai statue with the crown on his head, you see? They add up to the crown, Moai crown. Okay, you got that in your heads? That's our mana whenua, not tangata whenua, mana whenua. It says, I am on the land. So the Queen picks it up and takes it to the London, hides it for 100 years, pulls it out and puts it in the museum and calls it her title, her people. And then gets Helen Clark to make one, get the people in Chile to make a Moai and put it in Wellington. and then make that the Pacific title, a Moai, and on its plaque it says, they look like Maori. Look like Maori. Look like Maori. Not Maori, you see. They made the mirror image and put the statue there as their fictitious copycat title. And then the Bishop of Canterbury and the Samoans acknowledged that title as being the Pacific title in Island Bay, Wellington. That's when I was down there. I was there living, and all this racket was going on when they put that statue there to claim the title to the Queen. They're going to get blown to bits with the real Moai crown title in Dunedin. You see, the Pākehās knew to ship one there with its crown on its head as Maori, the Queen's people. You see, you've stolen my own family memorial, mana whenua, and the crown, basket of knowledge, the higher intellect on his head is my own Wanoa family. Put that in your stupid heads, you Maori. Okay? I don't mind saying that because you've got away with it. You've got away with it, and it's fallen apart. The Queen goes down, you go down. Right? America goes down with Obama and Clinton with the cabal, the family of Queen Victoria. Okay? This all wasn't made to last. The pyramid with the eye in it is all fake money of US dollars. It's falling apart. It was all set up to fail. The Treaty of Waitangi, obelisk made of first concrete on Marae is all a myth. It's all dreamt of 1840, Treaty of Waitangi, Maori Treaty of Waitangi. No Maoris in 1840. That was only invented by the Crown in 1945. You won't find any word Maori in the British original deeds here in New Zealand titles. No, not a Maori at all. The Pākehā did that from New South Wales, like Hohepa Ipiha. There's no such name as Ipiha in the native titles. The native surnames don't have that name there. It's just been plucked out of thin air and put there to cover up the Iping side of the Pākehā to make Maori look good. However, I'm saying this, I'm pulling you up because you've knocked me sideways. You're not listening. You're only listening to what you want to say and hear. You're trying to gather all the people around you and bring their information to you so that you can control it all. You're not going to touch that Moai statue, Hohepa. I'll put a pound note on your head. If you go anywhere near it, start talking about it. Because you have no right. Your brother, Mo, no, doesn't like what you're saying or doing to us. And anybody that's arguing with Paulina, Mo, her husband, you see, they're on the Manukau title land where they live. And all the rich people around, including the Stewarts, are sitting on the lands that she has a right to as a Samoan. She's in this flag on that side of Moai. She is Moai. Okay? No matter how she talks or anything, I know what she is. She is a right to Rapa Nui and the Moai statue. More than you thugs. Epia. Okay? She's got more right to the land where she is in Tingairi than you have sitting on the land that she says is stolen in Matari Bay. All you people that are there from Australia, you're sitting on those lands, you could go get booted off by her. She has the legal right with this flag to boot you off. Right? All of you. Just like that. This is vicious. This is vicious if she's got this wearing on her head before long. You won't get it. However, you won't be getting one of these on your head. Not anyone following you. It's going to be British from Britain, not British in Australia. All the British from Australia sitting on the lands, you got a problem. I can pick out who is who out of you British people from the real British people. I can tell them voice as well. Okay? All the ones that got on the land from Australia titles, you got a problem when it comes to the court. Okay? So that's all I want to say for this video for now, is that I'm going to work right through the Christmas. I'm watching other people of similar traits doing videos. I notice now they are not too frightened to make statements on videos, and I tend to not listen to Americans. I won't believe anything Americans say. It just doesn't add up. It might sound good, but I don't believe anything, because it's under the Queen, and it'll take a long time to fix that one. They're just like Maoris, have to fix their own problems. However, you have to fix your own land problems up, but when one of these marshals comes up to see you, there's bugger all you can do about it. What he says goes. What he says goes, because you're Australian. You're Australian, less authority to speak on these lands, right? When Kingy got one of these on his head, you're buggered, because he's controlling the commerce, not you. He's controlling the British title. You stick with your Australian title and can't get out of it. You're locked in the contract. Your documents, all documents that got Marae on it, Marae Tribunal, Marae Treaty Claims, Marae Names, Marae Carvings, all those things add up to the Queen contract. Unless she's taken out, I'm going to get a hangover forever for fucking this whole world up with you lot of thugs and pirates in Australia, convicts that came here with your surnames and helped her ruin the place. You've ruined all the hills and taken out all the trees, all that, and left it in a mess, just because your greedy sods have gone after the wealth and made sure to have your say. That's why you popped up and told me it's not a good idea to go and put the flag up on the 15th of April 2016. However, I told Kingy, he was pissed off with you. If he had a tie on his hand, it would have sliced your head right off, because he's a war man. Anything goes. Anything goes. He's got a law in his head of his own, however, and he's one of those. You didn't go to war. You didn't go to war. He did. He went to war to fight for this fucking country, however, not you, lazy fat bastard sitting in a pub all this time in Australia. Didn't come here and think you can just pick things up and push them out of the way and take over. You're not very good. You're not very good as a leader. No. I can say what I say. I don't want to be a leader. I'm just a mechanic with a fucking hammer in my hand to fix you lot of thugs up and kick you out. Okay? I'm going to say that right in front of everybody in the world, because we've had enough. We've had enough of the crap that you're in the middle of. Right? You can't do anything about what I say. It's too late, because I've been in it too long. I've been in it too long, however. I know shit when I see it. And Moai tried to fix things up, but he didn't have the punch. Okay? He didn't have the punch. His heart was too soft. Right? His heart was... So I said, let me do it. I'll do it for you. He says, I want you to bang that thing over and bang that thing over there. That's what I'm doing, however. I'm banging the things over that he said, not me. He said. And I'm banging things over that Machitara was said. Right? And I'm banging everything over that all the other chiefs said. And now I'm banging things over what Kingy says, you see. I just follow what they want. Then I got to do my job as a sheriff. I got a right to speak for the king, however. I have the right to speak for the king. Okay, that's enough. I'm going to go to the gym now because it's getting too late. We'll see you later, and have a nice day. Bye for now.